Hello lads and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be talking about country lanes, and it's something that new drivers and a lot of drivers that have been driving for a while and don't take them regularly and drive down them regularly are worried about together. And it's for good reason really. Country lanes are difficult, especially when they get really narrow, really twisty, and if you're new to them and have never been down them before. And believe it or not, country lanes are actually harder to drive during the day than at night, in my eyes anyway. So we're going to be talking about during the day mainly. Because of the night, and you've got headlights on, you can tend to see other cars as they're coming way before you would normally in the day. But that's why I prefer driving at night on country lanes anyway, because again, those headlights sort of give you a good pre-warning to cars coming. The first tip I have towards country lanes is don't cut corners. Cutting corners is one of the biggest reasons most people will have an accident on a country lane, and especially most if not all country lanes are two-way. And not quite big enough for two cars, like they're sort of 1.5 cars wide. Because of this, you're going to want to take corners extra slowly, and you're going to have to stay out wide out to the left in your lane. You don't want to be cutting across and taking the sort of racing line through country lanes, as you could find yourself meeting an oncoming tractor or a car the same size as yours or anything like that. You'd never really know what's coming around the corner. So you want to treat every corner like that and stay as far over as you can without obviously being in the trees. Though sometimes you'll have to kind of drive half up a bank to maybe let someone by. Keep your speed as slow as you can if you're going to have to do this as well. And if your cars are really low, then you might have some more problems. Overtaking is always a tricky thing when it comes to country lanes, especially when there's cyclists or horses involved, or just really slow other cars. Keep it to really long, obviously open straights that you can see, because again, blind corners, coming over to the other side of the lane, that's where you can get some big accidents happening, and you can end up in the trees alongside someone that you've hit head on. So you want to keep overtaking to really clear places. A tip from me is, especially when you're driving slower down these country lanes, open one of your windows, at least a little bit of a crack as well, and you can often hear people coming the other way, or you can hear, say, bikers, louder cars. It just gives you that potential extra warning that you can use to slow down and get over a little bit more, and just back off a bit. A lot of country lanes are national speed limit too, which is interesting, because the actual road speed for most people driving them should be around 30 or 40 mile an hour. Because it's a national speed limit, don't worry about going the national speed limit if you're scared of doing that, or you feel like it's too twisty and too dodgy to do that. So if you feel you have to drive 30 or 40 mile an hour, then you can go for it. You can absolutely do that, especially if it's not wide enough for two cars. Those ones you don't want to be going 60, 70 mile an hour down, because you're not going to stop in time if someone just pops out the other way. So keep an eye out for open gates into fields with sort of mud around them that looks like they might be tractors, because if you've ever experienced a tractor coming the other way down a like 1 car width country lane, it's terrifying. So keep an eye out for any signs that there might be farm vehicles running around, because you're going to have to stop pretty damn quickly and often back up a fair bit, because those tractors, especially if they've got a trailer on them, are not going to back up for you. It kind of leads on to animals. Country lanes tend to get a lot of animals like foxes, even cows and deer and things like that that sort of run across them, or are sometimes there because of the farms too. So for them, try to avoid the temptation to really get the lock on and swerve out of the way, because that's how most accidents happen is animals being swerved around, and people, you know, maybe if they're not the most skilled behind the wheel, sort of oversteering off the road, or understeering into various poles and bits. Especially if there are horses. Overtaking horses, you don't want to use a load of revs, and you don't want to sort of bomb past them, because you can end up, you know, spooking them and having a big horse on your bonnet. I don't think it's going to be a fun experience. So keep the revs low when you're doing that, and especially if you've got a louder car as well, try and keep it as quiet as possible. Keep an eye on the actual road surface as well, as that can tell you a lot about what might be coming up, especially if you start seeing tyre marks and people, you know, coming to a halt really fast, or big potholes in the road as well, because country lanes aren't normally fantastically well looked after. You're going to have to keep a good eye out for big bits missing out of the road sometimes. It's a two-way street, because you've got to keep an eye on the surface of the road, and you've got to keep your eyes up and looking forwards, waiting for people potentially coming around, and animals and tractors. So The moral of this is bring that speed down as well. The more uncertain you are of the conditions, how the road is, and the amount of traffic that's going to be coming the other way, you're just going to want to bring that speed down so you can bring that stopping distance down too. It's always good to make sure your car's on a good set of rubber too, so you know that you can stop quickly. Country lanes are tricky. They're definitely difficult, and they're something that just takes a lot of pre-planning, wondering and planning for what people might do rather than what they're actually doing, and things like that really is important. So, because if you're rushing people and you're just going sort of balls out around the country lanes, it can be good fun until that tractor pops up. So just keep that in mind, and keep that spirited driving more for big open roads, which have the width for 2 cars and are a bit more open and sighted. Because those unsighted, narrow corners are really pretty dangerous. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. More videos coming. I'm trying to keep to a sort of Monday to Friday schedule, so putting out more videos Monday to Friday on sort of normal working hours for me, and taking the break on Saturday and Sunday. So thank you so much for watching. Drop down any future video ideas that you might like to see down in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Make sure you drive safe. Peace.
Yeah.